Fire away.
Patrick, you know, to start the season, just what's the feeling in the locker room after that game? How you're trying to
Yeah, I think just after the first 2 weeks, you let games slip away. That we played two good football teams and made mistakes in big moments, stuff that we're not used to doing. But I think we're coming together as a team, man. I mean, when you deal with adversity, it's about how you deal with it, and obviously this isn't how we wanted to start, but how are we going to respond? So I'm excited for the next few weeks to see who wants to be challenged and how we can get back and really get after it. Things here and there that we didn't do at a high enough level. Even like the first throw, overthrowing Noah on that cover two look. I mean, seeing it right, just not making the throw. And so in this league, you got to make those throws, and I'll be better as the season goes on.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Keith from Black Quarterback Series. So we have week 2. We're going to talk about the marquee matchup, obviously. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Super Bowl championship Philadelphia Eagles. Excuse me. Let's get it going. So we're going to do the numbers, then we're going to get to all the other stuff. Hurts, 15 for 22, 101 yards. I don't have his rushing numbers here for whatever reason, but they'll be on the screen. Barkley, 22 carries, 88 yards, a touchdown. Mahomes, 16 for 29, 187 yards, a touchdown, interception. 7 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown. Normally, I don't give Mahomes rushing numbers, but rushing was kind of his thing today. So, Kansas City, Philly, evenly matched game throughout the first half. I think it was 10-10. I posted on Instagram, 2 great teams, 2 great quarterbacks, 2 great coaches. You're going to get the great JR's words, a slobber knocker of a matchup. So you're going to get 2 good teams, right? So pressure from both ends causing the quarterbacks to look off throwing an interception. The interception in the fourth quarter, as my air comes on, the interception in the fourth quarter that eventually led to a touchdown by Philadelphia, that was almost the game right there. The game was nip and tuck up until that point. Interception by a very uncharacteristic interception in the red zone by Patrick Mahomes led to a touchdown on the other end. And at that point, the game was pretty much over, right? And I say on my notes, I have questionable touchdown by Philly. The reason I say questionable touchdown by Philly is I think they're getting away. I think they're cheating at this point. I'm a very tush-push guy. I'm pro tush-push. But like when the offensive linemen are being able to jump off sides and y'all are not calling it, that's cheating. That's cheating. We can't allow that type of cheating to be in the game, like, because at that point it's almost unstoppable. If you're gonna let the offensive lineman be off sides and essentially dive at people, like, I don't think that's fair. Like, we really need to, if we're going to keep the tush push, we need to make sure that it's legal at the very least. It's legal, but if you're going to, offensive lineman going to be offsides, then it's not legal. And I listened to an Eagles fan yesterday talked about if they're going to do the tush push, he wants the tush push to be legitimate. Like, if it's a 1 yard push, 4th down push, but to be over the ball and like cheating, you don't want to win that way. You truly don't want to win that way, right? So Kansas City, he looks like Lamar Jackson a few years ago when Lamar Jackson didn't have no talent around him. And he's having to make every play. Pat is the best in the league, and nothing in this game changed my mind that Pat is the best guy in the league. He's number 1 on that top list of dudes. Him, like I say all the time, him, Lamar, Josh, in that order. He needs some talent. Now, granted, his talent is hurt. Excuse me, his name is escaping me right now. But hurt, suspension, just a lot going on with that offense. And it's causing them to just be very Mahomes dependent. Also, with them, they got to start paying players. And this and the third. It's a lot of things going on with Kansas City that they're going to have to get through. Do I think they're going to make the playoffs? Yes. Will it be a wild card? Probably. And the reason I say it's going to be a wild card because you look at their division, they got the Raiders. They got Justin Herbert in their division. And Denver is actually no slouch. As much as I can't stand Sean Payton, Denver is not a slouch. and then you got Kansas City, of course. You got 4 teams in your division that could possibly win the division at this point. Now it's week 2. It's early. I don't want to make no wild hot takes about 2 weeks of football, but this looks like it's starting to look like the Mahomes show. And as fun as that is, that's not how they won Super Bowls. That's not how they won Super Bowls. So good game though. Good game though up until the interception, and then it kind of got away from Kansas City. But overall, it was a really good game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So we're going to move on. I didn't do a video about Atlanta and the Falcons, so I'll just touch on it real quick. So first of all, it was a very boring game. Not much happened. They only scored 1 touchdown, I think. And like, Keith, how you feel about your Vikings pick? I still feel good about my Vikings pick. But the offensive line has to get healthy. The Pro Bowl tackle is out. I think the guard got hurt yesterday. They got to get that offensive line together. I'm not judging JJ off this because if the offensive line was not there. We can't judge Bryce. We're going to get the Bryce later. You can't judge CJ. Like, it's hard to judge somebody when the offensive line is terrible. Go talk to any person that has a team with a terrible offensive line. I had a terrible offensive line for damn near my whole life when I was watching the Rams play in St. Louis. You can't do anything when your offensive line is bottom of the league bad. So JJ will be fine. JJ will be fine. He just need the offensive line back. What's going on, guys? Keith from Black Quarterback Series. I know y'all can't see me, but I wanted to get this out before I headed into work. So, like, are we gonna actually address the problem in Houston? The offensive line, I've been saying this since last year, the offensive line is going to cost this team playoff games and games they need to win in order to be successful. And we saw that against Monday night. I know I didn't do a video before it. That's why I'm doing it here. But, like, at some point, they're going to have to make a decision in that organization, or are we willing to lose skill positions and parts of defense to get better offensive line play? Because we're literally getting our Hall of Fame caliber quarterback killed. And people are starting to think it's C.J. Stroud. Now, granted, I know people here and people that actually watch football know it ain't C.J. Stroud's issue because he can't do much with the offensive line. And people are going like, oh, y'all making excuses. No, it's literally his offensive line. If you watch ball, it's rough to see what CJ dealing with right now. So let me know what y'all think. Let's get back to the video. So Baltimore, we're gonna do. I'll call this segment the blowouts. So the Lions game, 52-21. Bears got absolutely destroyed. I don't even know what to make of it. I don't even know what to make of the Bears. They start so well and then they just fall off the face of the earth. The Lions look serious, as they should be taken seriously, and we'll see more as the Lions get deeper into the season. It's about getting to the Super Bowl with the Lions. The same way with Baltimore, as Baltimore destroys their. As I look for my notes, I think it was 42-21, if I'm not mistaken. It was 17-41 as they destroyed Joe Flacco's homecoming. So it's like. Same thing I say about Baltimore is probably the same thing I'm saying about Detroit. You got to get to the Super Bowl. I think anything other than getting to a Super Bowl for these teams are absolute failures. So you blow out a team that's not very good, and you blow out a divisional rival. I'm not really like whoop-de-doo. You know what I mean? I'm still thinking about, as far as Baltimore, when you lost last week. So both of those teams did well. I don't want to take away from what they did, but both of these teams have bigger goals that need to be taken care of ASAP. And so another game that was very interesting is this team is kind of in that vein is the Cardinals and Panthers. Now, you're like, Keith, both of these teams are not very good. Just listen to me. Bryce Young was 35 for 55, 328 yards, 3 touchdowns and an interception. We all know about Carolina. This loss is not on Bryce. They need another team that needs an offensive line, and they need to build from the inside out. Bryce Young could be the future of that franchise, but the way that franchise is going, they're probably going to draft another quarterback, and then Bryce is going to go be successful somewhere else. Dallas maybe. If they're thinking about getting off Dak Prescott, you can reset. If you're going to have a big contract on your books anyway, you might as well make it younger. So that's just something I'm thinking about. And then Kyler Murray, 17 for 25, 220 yards, a touchdown, and interception. I told my brother, he was sitting there, we was watching, he was talking about his bets, and I think he needed Kyler Murray to throw for 20 attempts. He needed 20 completions. I told him, watch, he's going to get something like 16 or 17. He got 17. I thought that was funny. They got to finish games. It is 9-27. I think mid-third or early fourth. And y'all only win by 5, but I don't have the penalties in hand. You know what? Let me actually find the penalties. The Cardinals had 12 penalties for almost 100 yards, 12 penalties for 96 yards, and half of those penalties were in that last drive. Half of those penalties were in that last drive, and it's like, y'all deserve to lose this game, but the Panthers are just so much worse that they gave you the game. They're so much worse as a team that you guys were able to win. As the Cardinals organization, you guys should be past this level of development with y'all great quarterback. Y'all should be past this. We can say what we want about Baltimore, but we can book Baltimore to win 14 games. We can't book the Cardinals to win 14 games. So when you're up these big leads and you almost give it away, it lets me to believe that maybe y'all are not as good as I initially thought you was. And if Kyler Murray's playing well like he did this game, and y'all only win by 5, what are y'all doing? So I don't know. The Cardinals are a dumpster fire for a variety of reasons. I just don't understand. I think Kyler and Bryce would be better going to another team. So it remains to be seen. So another really injury report. Let's do injury reports. So Justin Fields, as I'm fumbling around with my damn notes. Justin Fields, he has a concussion. He probably won't play next week. But they're saying he has a concussion. And so the bigger injury is Joe Burrow with the toe injury. He's going to be expected to miss at least 3 months. So you think about it, September, October, November, December. That's almost playoff time. He'll be ready for playoffs. And he won't be 100% even if he is ready for the playoffs. So their season is essentially over. I think his name is Kofi. He used to do Secret Base for this YouTube channel. I can't remember the name of the YouTube channel right now. It's escaping me. But he used to do YouTube for a YouTube channel called Secret Base. And they were attached to, it's not Sports Nation, but they were attached to a subsidiary or something else. And he talked about how his team is 2-0 and they feel like the season is over because Joe Burrow was hurt again. Are we going to give Joe Burrow the injury-prone tag? Because this is like the 3rd season in a row where Joe Burrow has been injury-prone. We got to start calling it like we see it, y'all. I know y'all love these white guys, but we got to start calling it like we see it. Joe Burrow stays hurt. If this was Lamar Jackson, y'all would be all on it. Talking about his injury prone and his style of play and blah, blah, blah. Joe Burrow's offensive line got him hurt. I'm not knocking that his offensive line got him hurt. And I don't think Joe's injury prone. I think the offensive line keeps getting him hurt. But if this is anybody else, we call him injury prone. So we got to call it like we see it. I think Joe will be fine. But I think his days of us thinking he's a top 10 guy, that might be numbered just because of all the injuries, and apparently the Browns too. But apparently the Bengals don't want to build a competent offensive line around him. They would rather just overpay 3 positions and then underpay the rest of their positions. So I wish I had a clear answer for you, but I don't. I don't know what Joe's doing next. I don't know what Joe's going to do next, but I do know he's injury prone at this point. So, this is a game I heard. New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys. Russell Wilson, 30 for 41, 450 yards, 3 touchdown interception. That interception was a case of it's been working all day. Let me see if it works again, and it ultimately backfired on him because he was trying to throw it to Malik Neighbors, and I think Malik Neighbors was running the 9, and it looked like he wanted him to run a post, and wires got crossed up in the interception because there's no reason Russell Wilson would have thrown the duck like he threw it, right? So, Neighbors, 9 receptions, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns. Wendell Robinson, 8 receptions, 142 yards, and a touchdown. Just excellent production. If they can get 70% of this production, they're going to be a tough out every game. If they can get half of this every game, and Russell Wilson can stay healthy and play like Russell Wilson, this team is going to be dangerous. They're not going to win the Super Bowl. They're not going to upset anybody, but they're going to give somebody 50 minutes of hell. So, game was great. Game was absolutely great. Dak Prescott, 38 for 52, 361 yards, 2 touchdown interception. CD Lamb, 9 receptions, 112. If they had Parsons, this wouldn't be a problem. They probably win this game if they got Michael Parsons. But Michael Parsons is on the Green Bay now. So that's really all I have to say about that game. If you want to go watch this game, watch the fourth quarter down. Nothing else for real in this game really matters other than the fourth quarter. So the fourth quarter, the New York Giants won the fourth quarter 21-20. The whole rest of the game wasn't very much scoring. I'll put it up on the screen. But 20-21, and it felt like it. I think this is the most lead changes in NFL history in the fourth quarter or something like that. Great game in the fourth on down. Anything else is like, it was okay. But also mistakes. Mistakes was a big thing in this game as well. As I'm looking through the stats, this game had a lot of mistakes as well. Giants, 14 penalties for 160 yards. Cowboys, 12 penalties for 106 yards. So they were just giving the game back and forth, to each other so they can figure out who wants to win this game. Cowboys said they wanted it. Cowboys got it. So excellent game. I thoroughly enjoyed watching that game. It was one of the better games of the week. And so I think this is the last team we got. Let me look around. Yeah, I think this is the last team we got. Cam Ward, 19 for 33, 175 yards and a touchdown. So in these rookie games, right? I'm not looking for Cam Ward to be CJ Stroud. I don't think his team is talented enough for him to be CJ Stroud in year 1, right? Or even Jaden Daniels in week 1. If you want to know about that, about the Thursday night game, I'll leave it in the end card. I like what I saw. I loved the rollout, very Lamar-esque. You don't hear me talk about Lamar because he's one of the best guys. He's the archetype for everybody. The run out, I'm sure I've showed it already. The run out and then throwing it across his body for a touchdown, that's elite stuff right there. Everybody can't do that. That's why Warren Moon gave him number 1. This is elite stuff we're talking about, right? Even some of the plays that were not major plays, but he was able to get it down the field. Like, I think this guy's gonna be okay. I think he's gonna be okay. Now, granted, they didn't win. You can always see the difference between a vet quarterback and a rookie. There's some mistakes he could be better at, but he's a rookie, first year, second game. I just want you to look competent. You know what I mean? I just want you to look good, like you could progress into that guy. So, I love what I saw. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at anything. I wrote down not doing anything to lose the game, growing as a player, and that's essentially what he's doing. He's growing as a player. And I love the fact that he's growing as a player. And I before I go, I'm gonna say one more thing. Number 55 for the Giants. You were part of this. Those points that I said. I think the Giants had 106 points in penalties. He might be responsible for 50 of them. So yeah, like get it together, bro. You too grown for that. So that's all I got. That's all I got for you guys. Long week. My bad if it seems like I'm like rushing through all of it. It's just so many games now. Y'all, it's so many games. Like I said last week, I remember when I was covering 5-6 games, I could really dive deep into them. But it's like 10, 15 games I'm going now. It's just I didn't even get to any of the games that wasn't black quarterback specific games, and I really wanted to get to. Like, I might make another video about it, the whole Trevor Lawrence waving off his coach thing and how that's Bush League and just how Cleveland Browns started Dylan Gabriel. Well, they didn't start him, but they played him. And we're reaching the Shador Sanders start eventually. So let me know if you guys want me to talk about that stuff. This is football. It's football, Black Quarterback Series. It's a lot to talk about. This video is going to be 20-something minutes. So let me get y'all out of here. I'll talk to y'all Thursday. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Peace.